Today, I want to talk about what Apple Intelligence means for iPhone 16, because I reckon their marketing for this year's iPhone is going to be centered around these software features, and I have some general thoughts on these AI features as well, so let's delve in. So why do I think Apple's betting big on Apple Intelligence with iPhone 16? Well, it's pretty simple, guys. AI is the #1 thing in tech right now. It's what everyone is waffling on about, and so it just makes sense for Apple to ride this hype wave as well. I mean, Samsung's Galaxy S24 series has been more popular than the S23s, despite being a small refresh, and that's because the marketing has been centered around Galaxy AI and how it enriches our lives. And so Apple's likely going to do the same with iPhone 16. Now, which Apple Intelligence features do I think will be popular? Well, for one, I know many have been hating on Genmojis and the AI generated pictures that do look a little creepy, but these kinda gimmicks are fun at the end of the day, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to use these with their friends and families. But obviously, looking at the bigger picture, Apple Intelligence is all about Siri not being dumb anymore and actually understanding you without you having to excessively elaborate. It could be a game changer. You know what else would be a game changer? Subscribing to this channel, of course. It's free and it would bring you the latest about Apple right to your subscription box, so please consider it. It would be appreciated. Join the Saranbyte gang now. Now, how iOS 16 ties into this is mainly because of the compatibility list for Apple Intelligence, which I have to rant about real quick because there were rumors that Apple would make these AI features exclusive to iPhone 15 Pro, but I was under the assumption cloud-based AI features or even ChatGPT integration would come to older models, since they don't have to run locally. However, unfortunately, that's not the case. You have to be a rich boy on the latest and greatest to get these features, and if you bought an iPhone 15 late last year that's not even a full year old yet, it's not getting these features. And that's kinda scummy, they're already dropping features from a model they're still selling as part of their flagship range. Of course, I'm not dumb. Running large language models that Siri's now based on is tough on a chipset, and more than CPU and GPU power, RAM is needed, and I'm guessing the cutoff point was 8 gigs RAM because even chips as old as the M1, which are based on A14 cores, are getting Apple Intelligence, but because Apple refused to give iPhones 8 gigs RAM till the 15 Pro, they are forced to be left out the party. But honestly, I can mostly look past older models not getting this. It's the iPhone 15 not getting this that really bothers me, because if you think about it, Apple surely knew these AI announcements were on the horizon when developing the 15, so why not give it 8 gigs of RAM in preparation? Did they limit those devices on purpose so you would upgrade sooner? Well, knowing how cheeky Timothy can be, it certainly is a possibility, and I think that's what's going to save the 16 series. Heck, I'm mostly content with my 14 Pro, and I was actually waiting for the 17 series that might introduce a new design, but now looking at all these exciting Apple Intelligence features, I'm starting to get a bit of FOMO, and so I might just upgrade to iPhone 16 to get these new features, even though I'm not particularly excited about the hardware changes. And I'm sure there's going to be many in the same boat who are upgrading a lot sooner than they thought because of these AI features. However, Apple making AI features run only on the newest iPhone 15 Pro means we can for sure expect iPhone 16 to get the A18, which is a welcome change. You might be thinking, isn't there a chance it gets the A17 since the base iPhone usually gets last year's chipset, right? Well, no, Apple actually wants to quickly move away from the M3 and the A17 chipsets because they're based on the flawed TSMC N3B process. It's why they were so quick to announce M4, because it's based on the cheaper and more efficient N3E process. And so yes, I'm sure A18 is coming to iPhone 16 and 16 Pro. Now, the Pro models might still get an A18 Pro that has a slightly more powerful GPU, but at the end of the day, guys, these should essentially be the same chipset. Think back to iPhone 13 where the regular models had an A15 with a 4-core GPU and the Pros had an A15 with a 5-core GPU. So I think the same is going to happen with iPhone 16. But hey, I'll take that over Apple giving us last year's old chipset in the base model. I can totally see Apple branding these A18 chipsets as AI-powered processors that are ready for all the AI awesomeness and really lean into the Apple Intelligence thing because marketing. So I guess the bonus with Apple's newfound focus on AI is that we should expect even the cheapest flagship to get the best specs possible to run this more advanced advanced version of Siri, and that's great news because Apple is literally the only company that currently has older chipsets in their base flagships. And the A18 chipset does give the base 16 a massive advantage over older Pro models. In fact, even I, as a 14 Pro user, am considering the base 16 because of Apple Intelligence, and yes, it has some downgrades, like a 60Hz display, oh my eyes, and one less camera, oh no, but does that matter when I can live without those, and I get access to all the fun AI features that will continue to get better? I want Siri to write bloody emails for me, okay? And it certainly makes up for the overall boring hardware of these new iPhones. I will say two things though. Number one, the new Siri animation really makes me think Apple should just give us a squeeze function on iPhone 16 that activates Siri. Google used to offer this with Pixels, and I feel like it would make interacting with Siri that much faster. And number two, this is not really AI related, but I'll mention it anyways. The volume animation in iOS 18 really makes me think solid state buttons are still in the works. I don't know if we'll see it with iPhone 16, maybe the capture button's only going to be solid state, but eventually I expect all buttons to be solid state, including the volume buttons. It's not cancelled in my opinion, as rumors have been suggesting. Anyways, let's end this video by discussing some good old iPhone rumors. So one thing we've heard from leakers are the dimensions of the Pro models. Since they will be getting ever so slightly larger this year, the Pro is going to be 6.3 inches instead of 6.1, and the Pro Max is going to be 6.9 inches. Nice, instead of 6.7. Now, if you're wondering about the specifics, I'll put a table up on screen right now, but essentially they're getting slightly taller, wider, and heavier, which is not a surprise because yes, when the display increases, the dimensions also increase. Wow! What will get the techies tingling though are the bezels. Apple is once again reducing the bezel size with iPhone 16. They reduced the bezels on iPhone 15 Pro using low injection pressure over molding, and this year Apple's using border reduction structure technology on iPhone 16. Since it allows for a more compact and efficient layout of the circuitry under the display, that's just a bunch of jargon to me, but essentially this means the bezels are going to be 30% thinner. Again, as the table shows, the screen border on iPhone 16 Pro is going to be 1.2mm, which is down from 1.71mm, and the border on the 16 Pro Max is going to be 1.15mm, which is down from 1.55mm. So for comparison, Samsung's Galaxy S24 Ultra has a bezel that's 1.5mm, so this makes Apple the leader when it comes to the thin bezel master race. Wow, you can flex that on all your Android plebby friends. Jokes aside, it is very hard for me to get excited about slimmer bezels, but I do admit it does look visually appealing, and of course with the bezels getting reduced, these in the hand should feel similar to the outgoing models despite their larger screen size, which is a big positive since the 15 Pro Max already is a behemoth of a smartphone. But yes, when iPhone 16's hardware changes include groundbreaking things like ever so slightly thinner bezels, you can understand why Apple's doubling down on Apple Intelligence. Those features are much easier to market because they will make an actual difference to people's lives, and so I expect iPhone 16 to still be centered around that. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this, and thank you for watching.